All right, man. So we got a quick side note here. And as I mentioned, it's a lot of teams and a lot of rah-rah going on in the NFL with some of these teams who barely even won 2 games yet. So it's time to hit them on a chopping block and go ahead and just count them out right now. I know we're creeping up on week 8 in the NFL. We got a couple Monday night games tonight, which I'll explain in just a sec. But for the sake of week 8, almost halfway through the season, and some of these teams got to go. First team that has to go. I don't know how they're still a factor. It's been evident for me from the jump, from the very first few games of the season, that this team is not going to make anything happen. They've been dysfunctional right out the gate. The New York Jets. Time to go ahead, chop the New York Jets out the playoff hopes. Get them up out of here, because I don't know why anybody still have any aspirations of the Jets going to the playoffs and making anything happen. We've seen all the dysfunction that's been going on with this team. They fired a head coach. Aaron Rodgers is controlling the show from behind the scenes, as they say. Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked like himself in the MVP years that we've won it. And I know, we're not expecting Aaron Rodgers to come out here and look like the MVP of the league at age 40, but damn it, this dude doesn't even look close right now. 6 interceptions in the past 3 games. Yes, all of them aren't his fault, but at the same time, the offense, guys are missing routes. They're running the wrong routes. It's week 8, and what are we doing? What are you doing? It's week 8, and you still don't know what route you're running on an audible? It's insane. Count the Jets up out of here. The offensive line, they're struggling. They can't protect Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has been sacked almost. He's top 10 in getting sacked in the NFL right now. At a guy at age 40, the last thing you want to do is see him on the ground every other play. So it's time to go ahead and wrap the Jets up. I know, hey, look, high hopes for the Jets early on in the preseason. People thought they were really getting a treat getting Aaron Rodgers back, and Jets fans still think they have a treat now that they have Devontae Adams on that team, which is a huge grab and a huge grab to sell tickets. But at the end of the day, bro, let's be honest. It is time to count the New York Jets out. They are done. Done. All right, now look, here's another team too, because this team, they got some crazy fans over there, and I'm sorry for y'all, but this is the harsh truth, and you got to hear it, man, because all of these teams are not going to make the playoffs, and they won't make anything happen. Now, I will say, this team, they have a better shot than the New York Jets to make something happen. But at the end of the day, let's be real. Let's be honest. The 49ers, it's time to go ahead and count the San Francisco 49ers out. And the main reason I say it's time to count the 49ers out is because that injury bug has really, really ruined their chances at doing anything big time this season. Now, we know, hey, 49ers, still pretty decent. Great head coach, great offensive coordinator. They got it going on over there. They got it put together, and they were a well-oiled machine. But they're not well-oiled anymore with the top guys on that team falling down due to injury. It's not happening. You lost Brandon Ayuk. He's going to be out for this season now. Christian McCaffrey is not coming back anytime soon. The rumors can continue to fly around, but until I see something, I need to at least see a Ben Simmons type of clip. I need to see a Ben Simmons clip of Christian McCaffrey. Let's see something. Let's see some drills or something. Because until I see that, I have no reason to believe that Christian McCaffrey is coming back. So Christian McCaffrey was already a pivotal hit for the 49ers to lose. And then now you lose your big time receiver, your big body receiver, Brandon Ayuk, who can catch, who can block, who can run routes tremendously, who's a premier deep threat in this league. Yeah, it's time to count the 49ers out. You may see the playoffs, but let's be real. 49ers ain't making anything happen, because if you run into the Lions, we know what's going to happen. Hell, if you run into the Falcons, we know what's going to happen. If you run into the Seahawks, I'm willing to bet a couple of these teams will beat you outside of the competition in the NFC right now. I mean, it's a lot of guys you can depend on. The Vikings, I would put them over the 49ers right now. Almost any team in the NFC North, you can almost put them against the 49ers come playoff time, and they would have a fair shot. So the injury bug has really, really just killed the 49ers, and it's only so much the guru Kyle Shanahan can do when his guys are falling down. When his chess pieces are getting knocked down week after week, I mean, the game plan is demolished. So the only way they end up winning anything, and the only way they end up doing anything big time, is if we see Christian McCaffrey, or if we see Brock Purdy really turn around and dominate in the pocket. I don't think we'll see Brock Purdy dominate, and if he does somehow dominate in the pocket, then that man needs to win MVP. And I don't think we'll get to that. I doubt we see a Brock Purdy getting to the level of winning an MVP, especially being that he's not really a pocket pocket passer. He's a guy that depends on the rest of his pieces on offense. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, hey, we gotta see some sort of Ben Simmons clip. That's the only way I'm gonna believe 49ers have a chance. We know Brandon Ayuk is done. That's a huge loss in itself. But Christian McCaffrey being out and Debo's beat down too. You got so many injuries going on with the 49ers. And hey, Brock Purdy's not gonna do it himself, man. He's not going to do it himself. And if he does, give that man the MVP. But nah, I need to see some Ben Simmons type of videos with Christian McCaffrey. If all these rumors going to keep flying around that he's coming back and he'll be back by this time in the NFL season. Nah, show me a clip. Show me some of him working out, running some routes, running through some cones, doing some drills on the ladder. I need to see something to have some sort of belief that, hey, Christian McCaffrey may make it back and Christian McCaffrey will be somewhat a help to this 49ers team later on in the season. Other than that, no Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, he's been struggling. You lose your big time guys, and it's bad for them. It's bad for them. I think with all that being said, it's time to go ahead and count the San Francisco 49ers out in terms of making anything happen that's huge. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. That's just the way it's going to be. But I will say this. Look, I mean, anything can happen come playoffs. We're still some ways away. And this is me looking down the line. But it's a lot of teams. They're there, but they're not gonna have what it takes to get it done. 49ers with no weapons, definitely not making it happen. Jets, who can't get over 4-game losing streak, definitely not making it happen. Any other team out there who ain't got 2 wins yet in week 8, not making it happen. Not making it happen. Yeah, that's the truth y'all need to hear. I'll say this. Look, leave us a quick take. 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play your take back on our voicemail line. Yeah, again, one more time, 219-413-9405. Leave a quick take. Tell me something you like, you agree, you disagree with, any of that. And then, of course, we'll play your take. But we got some news for the run coming up in just a sec. Don't go anywhere. It's halftime. We'll be right back.